All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my monthly review for this month's issue of the Walking Dead comic book series. This is for issue 191 now. It is called The Last Stand. And spoiler warning, if you guys have not read this issue yet for the Walking Dead comic book series, it just released today, so if you haven't read it yet, definitely check it out. This one's a good one. Not every issue is, like one that you want to race to read, but this is one of them because the Walking Dead, at least the last couple issues, have been really exciting. We're kind of getting geared up to issue 200 right now, and this is issue 191, so we have 8-9 months until we get to ready for that release and get to see the release of the big issue 200, and we'll have to see what they have planned for it, because usually if you remember issue 100, that was Negan's first appearance with Glenn and the baseball bat and everything, so Lucille. So issue 200 should be pretty big, and we just have a little while here. It should be, within the year, with 9 issues, so within a year now. But this issue right here was really exciting. This is basically the one on the cover. You have Rick. He's kind of showing, and you get an understanding when you read the issue of why. So he's got, in the comic book series version, of course, if you guys don't remember, he's missing the one hand because way back when the governor cut one of his hands off right away, right? So they opted not to do that in the TV series, which makes sense because, Andrew Lincoln gets to keep both hands then, right? So comic book series version of Rick doesn't have the hand, and this issue he raises his handless arm, I guess, to kind of rally everybody, around him. So it's sort of his war cry or his action to get everybody together and root for the Commonwealth or whatever. So we see that on the cover. We have Rick there, and he's doing that on the cover, and it didn't make sense really as to why, but then when you read the issue, of course, it fits in perfectly. So we pick up after things left off in issue 190, very exciting moment where Pamela returns to the Commonwealth with an army from Greenville and basically orders them to attack. Now, it's a very against Rick and against the joint survivors in The Walking Dead. Maggie from Hilltop, Carl's there. You have a lot of the other people have come in, Magna and the others, to want to help out, and basically they're just there to help, and Pamela misunderstands that and thinks that Rick is trying to take over and orders her people to attack. Which is a really out of place, crazy decision and could cost a lot of lives and just cause absolute mayhem. So it starts off with Rick shouting "No, stop!" We got some awesome splash pages and awesome artwork in this issue from Charlie Adlard, and he's basically saying slow down, please, don't kill everybody. let's relax and talk about this. Her people are on edge, but they don't just start shooting and attack and actually, want to kill Rick and kill the others. Maybe they're behind Pamela enough to bring her there and try to keep the peace, but they're not ready to just set up a firing squad and start to just, mow down everybody who's there, who's helped out to clear out the zombie herd that just came through. So Rick says, she asks, what are you guys doing? Like, what are y'all doing? And Rick says, they're being reasonable, Pamela, something I know you're capable of. I've seen it. Try it again unless you want to fight this fight on your own. So then we have Pamela basically just stays there and gives him an angry face, because she's pretty confused at this point. She really doesn't know what she's doing, and she's going to get people killed. And also we have Sebastian there as well, too, who's right beside her, who you might not notice at first. So then Rick climbs the steps of what looks like almost something like their White House or something. You've got the big pillars in the front and like a parliament type of building, and then he takes out the handless, prosthetic hand or the replacement, just without the claw at the end, and says, "This is who we are." And you got a nice another splash page of him putting his hand up. Then he gives a great speech, everybody, and this is a really cool one here with the double splash page which says, "We are not the Walking Dead, or at least we don't have to be," which is cool, for readers of The Walking Dead, because here you have something in it again. Now we said before, we are the Walking Dead back in the prison days. A nice splash page. Here we get kind of the opposite of him kind of seeing it as, okay, maybe we don't have to be that. We don't have to just be these savage, people just fighting to survive all the time. We can get back to regular civilization, or at least we can improve and things can get better as long as they're all working together and everything, and everybody's rooting for him and everything. And then Mercer takes Pamela under arrest, which is really not what Rick, maybe not what Rick wants to do, but that's what's happening. Mercer just decides to do that because he is convinced, as we've just seen too, that Pamela is somewhat incompetent and doing some stuff that's going to get people killed. Then you have Sebastian here who's flipping out about her being arrested, and maybe he doesn't know that later on, maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. Later on, Rick comes to release her, which he does do. He goes there and he releases her, and he walks back with Carl, and they're talking about what they're going to do, and then Rick's saying, run for governor. No, definitely not. So Rick's maybe not sure, but maybe they want to hold, maybe the implication I get is that they would hold some kind of election, and then they get to decide who they want to represent them as the leader of the community, instead of it just being Pamela all the time and in her kind of, her core section. Then we have Rick sleeping in his own bed, by himself, because of course in the comic book series version, spoiler warning, Andrew is dead, so he's kind of alone right now. And then you have Sebastian who comes in, don't make an effing move, and he's got a gun with a silencer on it, don't move. And so Rick is saying, Sebastian, trust me, you don't want to do this, and basically he's kind of flipping out and just kind of losing it, and Sebastian's kind of really going at him, talking about how he thinks he's so powerful and stuff like this, and that he's some kind of savior, some kind of god or something. And then it kind of looks like Sebastian accidentally shoots Rick in the chest. Now, where does he shoot him? He shoots him right here. So a little bit to the left, right there. Brutal. And then Rick's got blood everywhere. And then Sebastian says, I maybe he doesn't realize what he just did. And then Rick says, what did you do? As he's going down, there's blood kind of coming out of his mouth and everything. And that's the issue. That's the end of the issue. Amazing stuff, man. Really, really exciting issue right up till the end of Rick being at gunpoint, and kind of that heat. You just feel the heat of the gun as he's looking at him, right? Don't make an effing sound. And don't move. What I don't want to do is watch all my hard work, my mother's hard work, go down the effing drain because of you. I don't want to see the Commonwealth fall apart. You've disrupted the natural order of things. You've ruined everything. Rick tells him, put the gun down. Unlike everyone else, you can't tell me what to do. I've heard your people, how they talk about you. I heard about you long before you got here. They think you're a savior, almost like some kind of god. People are starting to talk about you like one, talk about you like that here. One speech in my family is kicked out. I'm supposed to just pretend I'm like everyone else now because you said so. You're that powerful, huh? You feel powerful now? Well, do you? And then Rick says, don't. And that's when he kind of shoots, maybe accidentally, maybe on purpose, maybe a little bit of both. And Rick, what did you do as he's bleeding, as he's just been shot in the chest. So that's crazy, man. Crazy issue. Very exciting at the end. I love the speech and the the line about we are not the Walking Dead, to kind of go back against what they were before, because they're sort of, as the issues are going through, as you're going through time in The Walking Dead, they're kind of reestablishing their humanity, where maybe they don't have to be so savage and they don't have to kill each other and do what they need to do in order to survive, and resources are not so limited and everything. And then here we basically get a power struggle that's going on in the Commonwealth, where Rick and the others are just kind of trying to do the right thing. They're tied up in this crazy mess. They're trying to save lives. They're trying not to kill anybody, even though here and there it's kind of necessary. But Sebastian and Pamela and all this that's going on, it's just really, really nuts, man. So I love the issue, especially the ending. Very exciting. Rick being shot in the chest. Oh my God, did they just kill Rick? It's like, I wouldn't think so, but I don't know. Maybe, because that's a pretty bad spot to be shot at. So I guess the leaving question for this issue is, do you guys think Rick is going to die? Do you think they just killed Rick? And issue 200 is coming up. So what if we could see by issue 200 like a funeral for Rick or something? That would be absolutely insane. And what would happen after that? Maybe that's where things are going. I don't know. Leave your comments below. In real life, I tend to think if you get shot right here and you don't have medical attention instantly, even if sometimes you do, you may not survive it. I mean, you get shot straight, right, or straight through there, where all your main arteries and your heart and everything is, and your center torso like that, and it's not lower or something, or it's not like a shoulder, it's like right there. that might be all it takes is just one shot, right? And then you die. They can do some medical craziness, like they put you in like a coma and stuff like that, and try to operate right away and try to see what they can do. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but there's some different things that they can do if you're able to get that attention right away. So hopefully somebody hears it or something. Otherwise, we might see the death of Rick in the Walking Dead comic book series, which would be really crazy and not something I anticipated seeing. But who knows? Issue 200 is coming up, so you would expect to see some pretty major deaths here. And my prediction is I think Rick will survive, but it's like where he was shot is like, I don't know if it's kind of like you get shot. It's kind of like being shot in the head. You know what I mean? I mean, there are some people that can survive it, right? Like it does happen in real life. But in this type of world, without the kind of medical equipment, or if people don't see him or get to him right away, because no one so far has kind of barged in to see what's going on, could they kill Rick off? Crazy stuff, man. I don't know. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you guys think. Maybe a topic for a Q&A this week. Will Rick survive issue 200? I hope so, man. But, that's a bad spot to be shot in. So, hate Sebastian, little Joffrey bastard. Reminds me of Joffrey from Game of Thrones or Song of Ice and Fire. Let me know what you guys think. Leave your comments below. If you like this review and you want to see more reviews for the Walking Dead comic series going on further, month to month, thumb it up below, share, favorite, and bottom left to subscribe if you're new. That's it for this one. See you guys again soon. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon. Wow.